I will now invite the other two members of the commissioning group to say a few words before formally passing this flame to the Alternative Welfare Working Group. So Kay Brereton from the Beneficiary Advocacy Federation of New Zealand.
Good morning everyone. As representative of Beneficiary Advocacy Federation of New Zealand, we are thrilled to be part of this initiative. We see this as a very important and a very exciting initiative, making sure that we give the voices of the real people who are affected by these proposed changes, making sure that those voices get to be heard. This came out of attending the Welfare Working Group Forum, and some of you in this audience were people who spoke to us there and said, we're not being listened to, we're really worried that what we've got to say and the important things that we know about welfare, the important things that we know about how welfare is delivered and needs to be delivered, and actually the importance of the welfare system are not being properly taken into account. And so out of that came the need to find a way to make sure that these voices are heard and that all of the reasonable options make it onto the table and get considered by this government. Because this government is talking about a dramatic shake-up of welfare, we want to make sure that if a dramatic shake-up of welfare happens, it happens for the good of all New Zealanders. So we're thrilled to be part of this alliance and very excited that everyone has agreed to be part of this group. I hope that the proposals that get put forward get taken seriously and get considered in the mix of what might happen next.
So the Reverend Dr. Anthony Dancer is the Social Justice Commissioner of the Anglican Church in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
The name of the group, Welfare Justice, really sums up what I think the group's all about, which is of course why we've come up with it. Having followed the Welfare Working Group and attended its forum and listened to its speakers and those who attended that forum, we've grown increasingly concerned that the real needs and voices of some of the society's most vulnerable people aren't being given adequate consideration in any reform of the welfare system. And the growing gap in this country between rich and poor is a real concern to us, especially as Māori continue to be overrepresented in the poverty statistics. And in our view, not enough at this time is being done to address this at a policy level. Poverty is unnecessary, and yet poverty is all around us. As the relentless daily attrition of contending with the most primitive issues of human existence, like food and cleanliness and clothes and heat and housing and rest. Poverty is an awful vulnerability, which tears at the very fabric of our society, and welfare reform is one process that can help us address that kind of vulnerability. We believe people and welfare of people really matter, and we believe in a society where that concern is the norm. Work is important, and paid work has been shown to be one of the most significant ways of lifting people out of poverty and having the potential to close the gap between rich and poor. But we don't define a person's worth and esteem by their ability to work in paid employment. And we need a welfare system that acknowledges that and protects the well-being of society's most vulnerable people, strengthening whānau and protecting mokopuna in the process. We think that any review of welfare should be seen as a means of improving society for all. Any reform of social security needs to be for the betterment of the whole country, and the voice of this country is not simply made up of those who are in paid employment or live in the right part of the country. We need a fairer society for all, built on an economic base that's strong and an ethical base that's strong, that includes the voice of everyone. In other words, we need a reform process that doesn't turn a deaf ear to the very voices from whom welfare relieves the vulnerability of poverty. As an alternative to the Welfare Working Group, we are starting with the same mandate as the ministerial group. But we're also aware that our discussion can't be limited by that. We see our work as enhancing that of the ministerial group, and our primary objective is to be able to contribute to the development of review of the welfare system that strengthens society through whānau and protects mokopuna. We want a welfare system in this country that is just and fair and nourishes a society in which everyone belongs. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
As a symbol of these three commissioning groups passing the light, we're going to take lights from our side of the table and pass them over. So I'm going to ask my colleagues to also take a light. And hopefully you'll be able to light 2 candles each.
The beehive matches are obviously an acknowledgement
Oh.
of the... yeah.
The subversive.
The symbolism was fascinating.
Particularly for clouds to spark.
Sorry?
Particularly for clouds to spark.
Want to shed any light? Please.
So the light is passed to you, and we look forward to being enlightened by what you bring back to us. So thank you.